there's a degree of grime, sort of grimy realism to the film. What do you think there's, sort of, from your point of view, the message that it's giving to people?
I think that, Ill Manors is set in and around the area of Forest Gate in East London, rather than any one particular kind of housing estate. And there is a strong element of kind of, hard-hitting social realism in the film. But coupled with that, there's this kind of almost allegorical kind of morality tale, particularly like, the cumulative effect of all these kind of, bleak, realistic stories is actually something that almost feels like a fable by the end. So tonally, I think it's got quite a mix of styles, and of course the musical kind of narrations with Ben rapping, kind of puts another twist on the whole genre again. So I think it's more than your bleak kitchen sink drama. It's something quite unique actually. In terms of a message, I'm not sure it has one simplistic message. I think it asks a lot of difficult questions. And I think it's an uncomfortable watch because we're not used to maybe having those questions asked in such a raw way. But I think it's right that he asked them.
As actors who have presumably had very little experience of this, how do you create that sort of character without going to the automatic stock, this is a prostitute, this is what I'm playing, this is a whatever, and going for something that's been done 150 times before?
I think for me, reading the script, the character's on the page, and then it's up to you to bring this character to life and create a person around it. Yes, I play a prostitute, she's addicted to various drugs, heroin, crack, but she's still a person. She still has a soul, she still has a heart, she's come from somewhere. As the film says, we're all products of our environment. It's not somebody that you perhaps want to be meet every day on the street, but she's still a living human being. So it's about creating a person from a piece of script to make it real and to help the audience relate to her. Whether you like her or dislike her is irrelevant. It's just about, bringing her into reality.
And Anouska, your character, in a lot of ways, has a very different journey, very strange, not strange, but sort of, when we first meet her, she's at a very low ebb, and she sort of rises much more quickly and profoundly, I think, than anyone else. So,
I think that gives the message that, there is a silver lining at the end of the tunnel, that not all bad things always have to end up badly. There is hope for people, there is hope for all of us, and I like to think that with my character that there is hope there, and she is able to perhaps move on to bigger and better things and a different way of life.
Did Ben give you guys an idea of the timescale over which the film takes place?
He did, but if you ask me about it now, a whole year and a half later, I wouldn't be fully sure, but it's a few days. It's really just a few days, and the film kind of goes back and forth in time to kind of relive a day that you may have already seen from one character's point of view, from a different character's point of view, and understand how each of your actions has kind of consequences, which, as Ben says, in a kind of spoken word piece at the start of the film, has consequences that you can't foresee at the time. Things that may seem insignificant are significant now.
Did you find that useful? I mean, from the point of view of somebody who's got to create a character, did you find it useful being able to see someone else's perspective on the character's action?
Well, that rapping kind of narrator kind of element was absent from the script and from the filming process. We knew there would be an element of that, but I think Ben kind of wrote those sections and recorded them around the film that he then went on to make. So for us, we were kind of just trying to inhabit those characters and make a realistic drama, and then it was for Ben then to step outside and craft his narration.
But even so, you obviously you have your character's perspective on an action. And then we see another character who might be an incidental character in your perspective. From your relationship with them, they may be seen in passing, but actually we then see much more of their experience. So did that help you when you were interacting with them, or was it more of a hindrance, knowing their motivations in a way that you wouldn't if it was a normal script? They'd just be
you've got to stay true to your character, and my aim, my want in a scene has nothing to do with the other actor's want and aim in a scene. The way it all comes together, we all collaborate together, and hopefully working together, you know, we create a product and a finished product that works. I don't ever think, for me personally, I was never thinking about what your intention was and what the other character's intention was. You know, you've got to really focus on your want and your need individually.
Same for you then, Riz.
Yeah, I think you read a script with two eyes. You know, you first take in the kind of the whole story and see how much all the characters make sense and their own motivations and all their relationships work. But then you read it again with the second eye, which is more of a focus on your character. And I think when you're on set, it's more with that second perspective that you kind of approach things. Although early on, you kind of need to have that more global view to try and judge the piece and see, you know, how it is.
And finally, obviously Ben's a first-time director who has experience on music videos but not in features. How did he differ from a director who hasn't perhaps come from the same music industry background or what have you as you guys? As he did, sorry. For you, how was it for you working with Ben as opposed to someone different?
Ben's got an amazing eye for detail and is uncompromising in achieving his vision. That's always attractive in a director. But he was also very open about the fact it was his first, you know, filmmaking experience and wasn't shy to ask for help and collaboration, which is only a strong point.
Definitely, and I think, you know, Ben knows what he wants. Yes, he was a first-time director, but he had a vision. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he wasn't going to stop until he got the desired product. You know, he's a perfectionist, which is a great thing, and working with someone that is so specific to detail, if anything, it's just inspirational to be part of that, and it makes you want to do a better job yourself. So, yeah, definitely a great experience working with him.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.